The tariff lobby, headed by the globalist and always wrong Wall Street Journal, is working hard to justify countries like Canada. I love that Trump gets to create his own grammar, randomly capitalized. Like, these are the types of emails that I get that I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy might be schizophrenic, I think. Like, these read, if he could only have, like, bold and italics and underlines, I'd be like, oh, this guy's a schizo that's emailing me right now. The tariff lobby, headed by the globalist and always wrong Wall Street Journal, is working hard to justify countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and too many others to name, continue the decades-long rip-off of America, both with regard to trade, crime, and poisonous drugs that are allowed to so freely flow into America. Those days are over. The USA has major deficits with Canada, Mexico, and China, and almost all countries owes $36 trillion to the deeds deficits. It's not related. Okay. And we're not going to be the stupid country any longer. Make your product in the USA, and there are no tariffs. Congratulations. That's what tariffs are. Yeah. Why should the United States lose trillions of dollars in subsidizing other countries? That's not how that works. That's not what that means. And why should these other countries pay a small fraction of the cost of what USA citizens pay for drugs and pharmaceuticals, as an example? This will be the golden age of America. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe and maybe not, but we will make America great again, and it will all be worth the price that must be paid. Oh, so there will be pain. Yes. Maybe and maybe not, I guess. But we will make America great again, and it will all be worth the price that must be paid. This is it. There it is. So the inflation is going to get higher. Prices are going to get higher. Life will get shittier. But it'll be worth it because they have to suffer more than we do. There it is. There we go. We are a country that is now being run with common sense, and the results will be spectacular. I feel like Trump should be 25th Amendmented, or like coup d'etat, or wait, is that one of them is really bad? The coup, what do you overthrow the government? This talk is crazy. This should, like, somebody around him should instantly, like, take over or depose him as a leader. We pay hundreds of billions of dollars to subsidize Canada. Why? There is no reason. We don't need anything they have. We have unlimited energy, should make our own cars, and have more lumber than we could ever use. Without this massive subsidy, we don't subsidize them, Canada ceases to exist as a viable country. Harsh but true. Therefore, Canada should become our cherished 51st state. Much lower taxes and far better military protection for the people of Canada, and no tariffs. What is this? Are we actually seriously trying to get Canada to become a state? Is that what we're talking about? Or... yeah, his whole timeline reads like AI slop of, like, fucking maggots. It's insane. Can you explain why you think Trump is doing this? No, I can't. I cannot. At least with, like, Putin or, like, dictators, usually you have a, you, like, understand what the point is. Like, people will engage in propaganda and they'll lie, but they lie intentionally. You know why they're lying. You know what the purpose is. The Department of Education is, per sources, rumored to be the next Elon target. Scope of the purge not known, but fear is a wind down. Oh, fear is that a wind down EO is coming. We'll listen to our boy. Sure, why not?
My fellow Americans, this week as we prepared for Thanksgiving, Canada held an important election, and I'm pleased to again send my congratulations to Prime Minister Mulroney. One of the important issues in the Canadian election was trade, and like our own citizens earlier this month, our neighbors have sent a strong message rejecting protectionism and reaffirming that more trade, not less, is the wave of the future. Here in America, as we reflect on the many things we have to be grateful for, we should take a moment to recognize that one of the key factors behind our nation's great prosperity is the open trade policy that allows the American people to freely exchange goods and services with free people around the world. The freedom to trade is not a new issue for America. In 1776, our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, charging the British with a number of offenses, among them, and I quote, cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. And
holy fuck. Imagine talking about something about the foundation of the United States that has more to do with than just the fucking First Amendment. Oh my God. I remember what I learned in my life of being a conservative for the past fucking 36 years, I think the Declaration of Independence was the government shall have no right to abridge our free speech. And then we made the Constitution. The Constitution said everybody has guns and fuck the federal government. Amen. And that's all I've ever heard, ever, forever. I thought that was all of the founding American documents. It was like 750 reprints of the First Amendment. And then they were like, how do we protect the First Amendment? Make the Second Amendment. Give us our guns. And then they gave them the Second Amendment. And that was it. But this is correct. One of the huge things that they talked about was the bongers. And on those first 20, we'll get through the rest. Those first 20 Federalist Papers they read. Yeah, the bongers fucking up our ability to trade with the rest of the world because they had a big ass fucking, not armada. It was just their navy, right? I think was it the Spanish that called it the Spanish Armada? But those bonger fucks were trying to fuck with our ability to trade with people. Motherfuckers.
Among them, and I quote, cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, end quote. And that same year, a Scottish economist named Adam Smith launched another revolution with a book entitled The Wealth of Nations, which exposed for all time the folly of protectionism. Over the past 200 years, not only has the argument against tariffs and trade barriers won nearly universal agreement among economists, but it has also proven itself in the real world where we have seen free trading nations prosper while protectionist countries fall behind. True. America's most recent experiment with protectionism was a disaster for the working men and women of this country. When Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley Tariff in 1930, we were told that it would protect America from foreign competition and save jobs in this country. The same line we hear today. The actual result was the Great Depression, the worst economic catastrophe in our history. 1 out of 4 Americans were thrown out of work. 2 years later, when I cast my first ballot for president, I voted for Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Like, at least back then, when people were doing bad things, they were doing it for America. Like, I'm not read into, my Cold War history is really bad, but wasn't Iran-Contra was somehow, that was Reagan, right? Facilitated. I think we weren't supposed to like either buy arms through Iran or something, but we were doing it to funnel things down to the sand snakes in Nicaragua. For U.S. interests, though, for our country at least. Now, was it bad? Yeah. I think it was illegal in the U.S. too. Yeah. Okay. But at least it was for American interests, okay? At least it was for America. Jesus.
When I cast my first ballot for president, I voted for Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who opposed protectionism and called for the repeal of that disastrous tariff. Ever since that time, the American people have stayed true to our heritage by rejecting the siren song of protectionism. In recent years, the trade deficit led some misguided politicians to call for protectionism.
What do you think about the retaliatory tariffs by Canada? Canada, I don't know, this gets into heavy theory for how countries view things, and I don't know how So here's the worry, but the U.S. is so split. Okay, here's a thing that happened once, all right? In the second Lebanese war, Israel, in 2006, when they were fighting with Nasrallah and Hezbollah, the second time was much tougher than the first time, okay? And they were getting dicked down pretty hard. And I think what the, I don't remember who the Minister of Defense was at the time. In 2006, I don't remember. It was, had Sharon had a stroke by then? Oh, no. It was, wait. Fuck, I know the PM. It was the guy that I talked to, right? Oh, let me just sit here for a moment and remember. Oh my God. And I don't remember his name. Fuck, the Israeli Prime Minister guy. Somebody say his name. Olmert, yes. Olmert was the PM. I don't remember the Minister of Defense. But the idea was, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to drop leaflets, okay, to the Lebanese, and we're going to tell them, listen, the reason why you guys are getting your shit fucked up so hard by our planes isn't because of Israel. It's not because of us. It's actually because of Hezbollah, okay? So you guys should hate them. And then Israel went and they bombed the fuck out of out of some Lebanese shit, and they dropped the leaflets, and the Lebanese people read the leaflets, and they were like, okay, well, Israel says that it's because of Hezbollah, but it's the Israeli planes that were bombing us. So fuck Israel. Fuck them. We love Hezbollah now for a little bit, but I think they had like a bit more popularity. They also worked hard, I think, with the population trying to make sure they had some more popularity, like rebuilding homes and shit. And that like backfired tremendously. It didn't work at all. I think it was like really bad PR for Israel. I don't think it worked at all. When you target another country and you try to say, hey, the reason why you're being targeted is because of people in your country, I don't know if that always works. The only difference now, though, is that the United States is so factioned against itself. Maybe it can. Like, I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, the worry that I have is that I personally believe that Canada and Mexico and the rest of the world should be coming together to fuck the U.S. really hard on trade. It has to be like a worldwide effort to like bring America to heel. I'm only worried that somehow in the United States it would like strengthen our nationalistic ideas if we're like, wait a second, the world's after us, guys. We need to come together as Americans. We need to fuck these guys up, and then we do get like perma stuck in some weird forever trade war. I think that's like the thing that I'm worried about, because I think right now I'm super vibing this, and I could be totally wrong. But I think even the Pierre guy, the new Canadian right-wing PM, I think that in Canada right now, I think it feels like, just on social media perusing, that there's a big coalescing of like, fuck America and fuck Trump right now from Canadians. That it's not a good feeling in Canada. Not like, well, they're like, well, we're kind of conservative, we see this, and the liberals are kind of crazy. It's like a fuck America, like super fuck America. And that union between Canadians and Mexicans, I think, will be really important. And hopefully that doesn't break down, because somebody has to show the United States that you can't, because the U.S. we've got a big economy and we can be real big bullies, but you know, that's like a united we stand, divided we fall type thing for you guys. And it's important for the rest of the world to say, hey, America, it's really cool that you guys could like do your shit, but like if you're going to step out of line too much, you're going to get smacked the fuck up. You can't act like this. This is insane and unhinged, and the world will bring you to heel if you're going to do crazy shit like this. So I hope that happens, and you don't see people like break down and give in, and yeah. But the only issue is that America we're so big, and we can't, it's just because, and partially you fucking retards too believe this, we did so well economically compared to the rest of the world coming out of COVID, even though Americans lied to themselves and thought that we were fucked. But you truly have no idea how fucked you can be. And America's economy was just going so strong afterwards. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I understood how currency worked better. Like, one fear that I have, this is totally baseless, but like, assuming this damages, like, here's like a weird thing that could happen. Oh, fuck, wait. I'm not discovering some logic in this, am I? I hope not. I don't know how currency works well enough to say. But like one fear would be like say hypothetically the Canadian economy gets so fucking ravaged that they wait, this wouldn't make sense. Like if the Canadian economy gets so fucked that they can't afford shit in the US because like the CAD is so worthless compared to the USD, even with tariffs, we could still import a ton of shit from them because it would be so fucking cheap to import stuff. But we'd still be running a massive trade deficit, right? So wouldn't Trump still be mad? At Destiny, the trade war isn't popular in America at all. This take is insane. Only Trump sycophants are supporting this. It doesn't matter, my dude. The president can do this unilaterally. One thing that we have to get, I do this too. I make this mistake as well, guys. I make this mistake as well, okay? We view things sometimes as being okay, right now, the president is doing this thing, and it's, and if we look at it right now, it's pretty obvious that it's like, it's 51% over here and it's 49% over here. And we gotta, you know, so if we can change the numbers to 51, 49 the other way, if we can fight a little bit harder, we can get things pushed. And the only way the president can do this, if it's like 51% over here and 49% over here, whatever, right? Like we always view this as like if the president's doing it, it's because he's got a popular mandate to do it. This is not how it works. Like what's actually happening at any given point in time with policies like this is, so like when it comes to this trade war bullshit, for people that care about trade, now I'm not just talking about people who care about prices, which is going to be a lot more people, but for people who care about stuff like trade and tariffs or whatever, it's probably going to look more like, my guess is going to be, like this. So there's going to be a great deal of MAGA who they really do, I'm really trying not to straw man here, but like causing pain to your enemies, if you're MAGA, is a big calling card of that movement, and making other people suffer for what you view as, you know, indignations that you've had to suffer through their bad trade policies. They like this. This is good. Now, on the Democrat side, you're going to have some people like, oh, free trade, I guess, maybe is probably good. Most people are like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens, I guess. This is the issue that you're running into. So people might think like, okay, fuck, it's not most of MAGA that supports this, right? So that shouldn't be a big deal, I guess, but most Democrats don't give a fuck. Nobody cares about like free trade or macro econ or trade policy. Nobody knows what a trade deficit is or what that means. Like, people just don't have that strong of an opinion on it. So as long as the political climate looks like this is where lobbyists could theoretically have an impact. Individual politicians or leaders like the president could have a big impact. But yeah, you can get a lot of stuff done here because citizens aren't going to, you know, stand up to you one way or another. How quick does my almost 100% S&P 500 401k going to be next week? I have no idea, my dude. I'm a little bit worried about the markets opening. What's the benefit to America in maintaining the trade deficit with Canada? What do you mean? We buy shit from them because we like to buy it. You get stuff from them because it's good, because you like to have a cheaper house, because you like to buy stuff and use it in your daily life, because some companies import raw materials and they build better products with it. What do you mean? What? The big thing that I'm curious about, I was talking offline chat with Metalloid about this. I'm so curious how much the markets have actually priced in these types of tariffs. I'm curious if companies actually thought this would happen or if everybody's been living in like collective delusion. So I'm curious if like it's going to be like a little bit of a bumpy road when the markets open and people are like, fuck, we kind of saw it coming. Or if like the market's going to open and people are going to be like, oh shit, it's sell-off time because shit is way more fucked than we thought. Nobody actually thought he would do this. What is the counter argument to Republicans to say trade with Canada is for geopolitical reasons and not out of necessity, and that we can get oil and other raw materials cheaper elsewhere from third world countries? Nothing is stopping you from doing it right now. If you believe that, then go buy it right now. Nothing is stopping you from doing that. Oof. Polymarket had 20% odds on tariffs until January 29th. Do you give any credence to the idea that Trump and Musk are purposefully tanking the economy and sitting on short positions? No. He's scammed, theoretically, I think Trump has the potential and probably will. It sounds crazy to say this, and people just, especially people that don't study any econ or finance, will just say like billions and trillions and millions interchangeably. Okay, but I'm not doing that. Like, I think Trump legitimately will make billions of dollars off of his crypto scam. So I don't know why he would feel the need to like short positions in the market and destroy the whole U.S. economy or whatever. I don't think so.
Years, the trade deficit led some misguided politicians to call for protectionism, warning that otherwise we would lose jobs. But they were wrong again. In fact, the United States not only didn't lose jobs, we created more jobs than all the countries of Western Europe, Canada, and Japan combined. The record is clear that when America's total trade has increased, American jobs have also increased. And when our total trade has declined, so have the number of jobs. Part of the difficulty in accepting the good news about trade is in our words. We too often talk about trade while using the vocabulary of war.
True.
In war, for one side to
win, the other must lose. Yes, true. People keep saying this, and Trump says this. They're beating us. They're beating us on trade. My brother in Christ, when you go to Walmart or when you go to an instrument store or when you go to a camera store, or when you go to buy a graphics card, or when you go to a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym, when you give them money, they're not beating you. Well, maybe in a BJJ gym there, but mostly they're not beating you by taking your money. It's a voluntary exchange. You're both winning. I am giving you my money because I would rather have the camera, and you're giving me the camera because you'd rather have my money. Those are both people winning. The fixed pie is such a stupid perspective on economics. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. That's not how it works. And everybody views trade as this thing where you're like winning and losing. You don't have to be. Everybody can win when you trade.
But commerce is not warfare. Trade is an economic alliance that benefits both countries. There are no losers, only winners, and trade helps strengthen the free world. Yet today, protectionism is being used by some American politicians as a cheap form of nationalism, a fig leaf for those unwilling to maintain America's military strength and who lack the resolve to stand up to real enemies, countries that would use violence against us or our allies. Our peace.
How have we fought more with Canada and Mexico than with China and Russia? Russia is still at war with Ukraine, by the way. Here's the real takeaway is, you know who the stupidest motherfucker in the world is right now? The stupidest motherfucker in the world is that fucking Xi Jinping guy. Because if I was him, I would have invaded Taiwan yesterday. What the fuck is the United States going to do? I would have been like, holy shit, these motherfuckers, Trump just pulled the plug on their economy on Friday. We need boats in the water on Saturday. And I want to own the entire island of Taiwan before the fucking NASDAQ opens, before the bell rings. Okay? There's no way that Americans would have the state of mind to fucking do anything.
Trading partners are not our enemies. They are our allies. We should beware of the demagogues who are ready to declare a trade war against our friends, weakening our economy, our national security, and the entire free world, all while cynically waving the American flag. The expansion of the internet...
Who did he write this for? What the fuck? The history, it rhymes, it echoes, it repeats.
All while cynically... Never
mind, okay. History repeats itself was stupid, so it's like, well, history rhymes because it's similar, and then history echoes. You know what? Fuck all that, actually. This is the 75 IQ, 100 IQ, 125, 150 IQ meme. History repeats itself, okay? That's it. We're just repeating. It's just a repeat.
Waving the American flag. The expansion of the international economy is not a foreign invasion. It is an American triumph, one we worked hard to achieve, and something central to our vision of a peaceful and prosperous world of freedom. After the Second World War, America led the way to dismantle trade barriers and create a world trading system that set the stage for decades of unparalleled economic growth. And in 1 week, when important multilateral trade talks are held in Montreal, we will be in the forefront of efforts to improve this system. We want to open more markets for our products, to see to it that all nations play by the rules, and to seek improvement in such areas as dispute resolution and agriculture. We also want to bring the benefits of free trade to new areas, including services, investment, and the protection of intellectual property. Our negotiators will be working hard for all of us. Yes, back in 1776, our founding fathers believed that free trade was worth fighting for, and we can celebrate their victory, because today, trade is at the core of the alliance that secure the peace and guarantee our freedom. It is the source of our prosperity and the path to an even brighter future for America. Until next week, thanks for listening, and God bless you.
I think this was like, wasn't he close to fucking being Alzheimer's dead at this point? When did his dementia get really bad? I don't remember. This was in 88. What's your suggestion for anyone on this part of the world, Steve, and the European Union? I have no idea, bro. I don't like the fact, it's just not fun being in America right now. I just feel like there's nobody else. I feel crazy because I feel like nobody else talks about any of this. No, that's not true. Like, you've got all the MAGA is crazy. Every conservative is crazy. And then on the left, it's just like, we've got like land acknowledgements. You've got like your Hassan Pikers, your Emma Viglins. Like, I don't know where like you've got your, no, that's not true. They're like the Brian Tyler Cohens and the David Pakman. I feel like all of those people are so island off though. Or like it feels like they're all on islands. Am I crazy in feeling that way? Maybe I'm just not connected to that part of the, like I don't watch it as much. And then the mainstream left-wing media is like, there might be some pain from these tariffs. Bro, we recoded our Washington, bro, we're LGB now. How are we LGB? We're LGB. Pondering politics? Josiah is based. But, I mean, like, most of these guys are cool. So is Brian Tyler Cohen. I think is cool. I just have a very nasty feeling inside me for Pod Save America giving Hassan a free fucking walk on that show. That gives me feeling, I don't know, man. Oh, and I will say, there are like a few. I see that Brad Palumbo guy out there trying to fight the good fight, like the Never Trumpers. But I feel like those guys are just like politically homeless because the left, at least online culture, the left will never accept anybody from the right. Like, it's so crazy. People will say like, and the right would even make fun of us for it. Like, remember when Dave Smith was like, you think that embracing Liz Cheney, you think that's a good look for you? And then meanwhile, they're like, oh, we love it when the left comes over here. We love that Anna Kasparian is woke to right issues now. We love Cenk Uygur. We love the fact that people like RFK and Tulsi Gabbins have come over here. We love those. It's like, the Bulwark is great. Oh, I watched one episode of the Bulwark. I think on a plane because I wanted to research somebody. And it's like with Scott Galloway. I don't know how popular these people are. I listen to these guys like, oh, yes. Because these guys seem like they get it. That's Scott Galloway, and I think it was Kara, the Kara lady. These guys are like, oh, thank you. Yes. This is fucking crazy right now. But I don't know. I wouldn't, oh, Kara Swisher, yeah. I don't know if I would vouch for them because I haven't heard enough episodes. When you elect crazy people, you get chaos. Maybe. Like, the funny, it's a waste of time for me to even say this. But what Trump is talking about here, when Trump is saying we need to make Canada a state or we should make Mexico a state, he's technically correct, and that would help like our economies. But what he's talking about there is globalization. Making them a state, you're talking about creating a super government that rules over larger swaths of territory, that reduces barriers to trade and immigration, increases things like financial and market integration. Those are globalist ideas. Currency integration. These are globalist ideas. When he talks about making Canada a 51st state or Mexico a 52nd, you're talking about globalist. These are globalist ideas. But nothing is like consistent in this world. Like none of this is an ideology that can be analyzed from any kind of like logical or you have to like figure out the emotion behind every statement and just go from there. I feel like I got friendly with the anti-woke coalition over the past few years, but now it feels like they're walking off a plank into extremism, and I feel frustrated about it. Being anti a bad thing doesn't make you right by default. Righteous revenge is not compassion. Like, how are you... listen, I think that this is a very, very, very wise statement to make in 2018. How... in 2025? Like, where have you been? Hello? Where have you been? Where are we? Hello? There is unironically a very easy way to make Trump learn from his actions here, but it's mostly cooked by Alberta being a Republican wannabe province. If they actually shut off all oil exports to America for 2 to 3 weeks, it would obliterate the U.S. consumer by launching diesel and gasoline prices to a fucking ridiculous degree. Yeah. Although I worry that in a weird way that it could help us if gas never really was as big of a deal and a whole bunch of oil becomes more accessible now because the price goes higher and we like jumpstart a whole bunch of fracking and shit to go after stuff that we wouldn't have ordinarily gone after. There's like a weird way that could backfire. You're LGB because the left was not graceful in their victory. You gloat, your progress gets erased when the pendulum swings back. This time it swings so hard it might wreck the entire building. Oh, I'm sorry. We gloat? I just want you to know that if I had your address, I would be spamming it in my chat right now. Actually, the thickest, strongest nylon rope that you can find, please God, get the fuck out of here. Conservatives are the masters of telling you what they do and then telling you that this is why you can't do it. Unbelievable, bro. This is a disgrace. Are you serious?
What do you think is the best way to understand Trump coin, given that there's no intrinsic value? What purpose does it serve beyond as an advertisement marketing tool for him?
I don't even think, and that's not even true, because liberals weren't even gloating. After Biden won, we were in shock and awe because you fucking retards tried to coup the government. We didn't even have time to gloat. We didn't even get the opportunity to gloat because we were like, holy shit, are you guys trying to fucking revolt? Are you guys having an insurrection right now? Are you trying to fucking take over the fucking... Are you serious? We didn't have time to gloat. Are you actually serious?
What do you think is the best way to... What do you think is the best way to understand...
Hold on.
Goddamn!